What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video. Let's look at the latest headlines as Goldberg discussing his blunder-filled bout against The Undertaker, the real reason behind Nia Jax deleting her social media account, Goldberg's backstage confrontation with Matt Riddle, lots of awesome WWE 2K20 content announced, why we won't ever see AJ vs HBK, Clash of Champions rumors, and much more. Let's get straight into it, with Goldberg explaining what went wrong in Saudi Arabia. Well, Bill Goldberg immediately apologized for his bumbling bout against The Undertaker at Super Showdown. Only recently has he gone into detail about what went wrong. Bumbling Bill appeared on Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast to explain what happened in Saudi Arabia. I'm not going to make excuses, that's for sure. I'm just going to answer questions and give facts. Facts are the reason why I had that match with The Undertaker and took that opportunity. Was because it was an opportunity of a lifetime, whether I was 22, 52 or 102, you know? Not that it was in Saudi Arabia, but because it was against The Undertaker. He was the one guy I'd never crossed paths with, and the heat. I knew going in it was going to be hot. In Georgia playing for the Falcons or the Georgia Bulldogs or the LA Rams down in Los Angeles, it's hotter than hell, and you know it's going to be hot. It's one of those things you accept. After saying he wasn't going to make excuses, Goldberg said, "I had the perfect storm of crappiness because for me, people don't know all the things that go into everything. At 52, going against The Undertaker and being Bill Goldberg in the short period of time that I had, I can either do one or two things. I can get in really good shape or I can try and get as big as humanly possible so I don't look like an old Bill Goldberg against The Undertaker. So it's a compromise. It's always a compromise. This last time though, I didn't need the cardio. Man, I didn't concentrate on getting big at all for the 4 weeks that I had. I just tried to get in shape. I didn't try to add a pound, I tried to lose weight this time. Every situation is different. It's like trapping for a different team. I liken everything to football because I'm a meathead and I was born into a football helmet. If the fans' reaction to Big Bill at SummerSlam is any indication, the WWE Universe has already forgiven him for the Super Showdown debacle. Is Banks vs Bayley coming soon? Well, Sasha Banks seems headed on a collision course with the man Becky Lynch. Fightful.com's Sean Ross Sapp suggests you may see the boss clashing with her former tag team partner sooner than later. I think that could be happening a whole lot sooner than Survivor Series. Sapp also noted Banks and the WWE kept fans and wrestlers guessing whether Banks would ever return to the company. WWE was kayfabing several people in the company. Really, nobody knew when she was coming back. She keeps a very tight circle. Moving on, let's look at the Clash of Champions pay-per-view and the cards so far. Clash of Champions will be here before you know it, with the pay-per-view scheduled for 15 September 2019. So far, here's what we know about the card. The final match of the King of the Ring will be held, and according to the latest Observer, the currently planned main event is Rollins vs Braun Strowman for the title, plus a Kingston vs Orton rematch, and Becky Lynch vs the returning Sasha Banks. Banks' return hit big enough that it was the 14th most searched topic on Google on 13th August, and wrestling angles very rarely reach that level. There's also speculation we'll see Roman Reigns vs Daniel Bryan, Shinsuke Nakamura defending the Intercontinental Championship against Ali, and the New Day defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against The Revival. But those are matches we might get. But what about a match we'll probably never get, as AJ explained why HBK won't wrestle him. Now, you may have heard rumblings last year that the WWE was trying to put together a match between the phenomenal AJ Styles and the showstopper Shawn Michaels. Sadly, that hasn't happened, and according to Styles, it never will. The current United States Champion recently spoke with WWE Now's Kathy Kelly, explaining why the dream match didn't happen. I would have loved the opportunity to have gotten in the ring with him. I'm not sure what it is about Shawn and I that people see as like, oh wow, these guys are one and the same. I would like to think there are so many great matches by Shawn, and hopefully there are a lot of great matches that you see me in. And that's the comparison, that we're able to put on a show no matter who's in the ring with us. It's certainly a compliment. I asked Shawn about a match, and he said no. That's on Shawn, guys. I can't do anything about that. I would love the opportunity to do that match, but I get where he's coming from too. It's one of those things where if you say you're going to retire, now granted he had a match after his retirement, one match, but I understand not really wanting to do it. When I retire, I want to stay retired too. Next up, some news on Matt Riddle pushing his luck. Matt Riddle continues making a pest of himself, and in an industry known for working its fans, and sometimes its workers too, so it's difficult what to make of the latest story involving him and Bill Goldberg, as he's been the subject of many insults by Riddle. This week's edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter featured an interesting story concerning Riddle running into Goldberg backstage at SummerSlam. Goldberg and Riddle actually had a confrontation of sorts before SummerSlam. Riddle had been mocking Goldberg and Lesnar on social media for some time. Keep in mind, this stuff is all approved, if not encouraged by WWE management, because if he wasn't, he wouldn't be doing it. It's just a way for him to get attention. I guess he never did see Lesnar, but he was backstage, and Goldberg threw a shoulder at him, and Riddle, whose stuff on Goldberg dating back months to build for Saudi Arabia was that Goldberg wasn't any good, because when he was a kid watching, he could see through him. So according to Riddle's description of their meeting, Goldberg looked at him, evidently knew what he had been writing, and said, "We got some talking to do." And Riddle said, "We can talk any time." Riddle called him bro, and he said, "I'm not your bro." And Riddle said, "Alright bro, take it easy." Goldberg said, "I'll see you later, and it was a pleasure meeting you." Bill has the attitude generally if people are dicks to him, in his words, "Kill them with kindness." And Riddle said, "The pleasure was all mine bro." And Goldberg said, "I'm not your bro." Confused? Yep, we are too. Next up, some 2K20 news as the Fiend invades WWE 2K20. The WWE must have planned on the Fiend getting over big time, as 2K just announced a massive pre-order bonus for anyone purchasing WWE 2K20 ahead of time. WWE 2K20 Originals Bump in the Night is the first entry into the WWE 2K20 Original series of downloadable content packs, each with a different theme that will introduce all new imaginative realms to WWE fans, with new content for all your favourite parts of WWE 2K. Bump in the Night's horror vibe is perfect for its fall release following the launch of WWE 2K20 on October 22nd. WWE 2K20 Originals Bump in the Night is also available at no additional charge for those who pre-ordered WWE 2K20 at participating retailers. It'll be available for $14.99. Some of the content includes the Fiend Bray Wyatt's playable character, and a 2K showcase featuring an alternate Swamp Father version of Bray Wyatt has amassed otherworldly power, becoming an embodiment of the swamp itself. He lures Finn Balor to his compound to recruit Finn's demon into his group of powered superstars, which he calls his family. Finn is forced to fight in a series of matches against members of Wyatt's family until finally, the power within Finn Balor is unleashed. Exclusive commentary brings the story to life. The DLC also includes several tower storylines including the Fiend Bray Wyatt stars in his own tower, All Fed Up, as fed up Sheamus is forced to take on some of his former fellow superstars who have all become zombies, Nowhere to Run as Twisted Nikki Cross looks to play with other superstars in her own twisted game, One of the Family as the Swamp Father Bray Wyatt decides to bring on one of his past recruits, Can Daniel Bryan avoid becoming one of the Swamp Father's thralls? And Nowhere to Hide, as Survivor Mandy Rose has had enough of Twisted Nikki Cross and her games, she's going to do what she can to put an end to the madness. The game also includes horror-themed versions of WWE superstars including the Fiend Bray Wyatt, Demon King Finn Balor, the Swamp Father Bray Wyatt, Franken Strowman, Wicked Aleister Black, Unleashed Apex Predator Randy Orton, Fed Up Sheamus, and 2 mystery versions of WWE superstars. Adding custom arenas such as Wyatt's Swamp Arena and a Cemetery Brawl Arena, and you have quite the Halloween appropriate content. Moving on, let's look at an update involving Dominic Mysterio's WWE Future. Fans wondering whether Dominic is going to star in NXT may be surprised by Tom Collihu's recent tweet that don't necessarily believe that NXT is the best way to get him over. Instead, a storyline involving his father is considered a better option. As discussed in another video, the WWE may be using Ray's losing streak as a way to bring Dominic in, with Ray's son fighting to put food on the table. Bit silly, the idea of Mysterio's family living a hand-to-mouth existence. But this is wrestling. There's a follow-up on WWE cancelling several house shows. As we mentioned, WWE cancelled 5 upcoming house shows in August, leaving fans and industry analysts wondering why. According to the latest Wrestling Observer, WWE quietly announced the cancellation of 5 house shows in August, all on the Raw side. This coincides with the report we had last week of doing more dual-branded super shows going forward. The shows cancelled are the entire Raw House Show tour in 2 weeks, which shows on 23rd August in Bossier City, LA, 24th in Lafayette, LA, 25th in Mobile, Alabama, as well as 2 of the 3 shows the following week in 30th in Bangor, Maine, and 31st in Portland, Maine. a significant number of house shows, something the Observer evaluated. As I mentioned, in the case of the first weekend, this is simply cancelling shows likely due to bad advances. Even with the high ticket prices, it's no longer the case that almost all house shows are profitable, but it's one thing to cancel Monday SmackDown shows because so much of the talent is booked on Raw, and because those shows historically are the weakest drawing of the week. It's another to cancel complete tours. The key is that it's clearly bad advances, because the following week with Bangor and Portland, the shows were cancelled, but the first September show in White Plains at Westchester County Center, a building WWE has historically always packed even on the worst of times, is still on. According to The Observer, WWE officials are hopeful that SmackDown's move to Fox will improve attendance. A number of WWE executives have sold their stock, leading to speculation the company's business may not be as rosy as the WWE wants people to think. We'll be sure to keep you updated if there's any updates. Wrestlelamia is following this story closely and will keep you updated. There could also be a revamp for Chad Gable, with PW Insider's Mike Johnson commenting, "The future of Chad Gable might be obscured a bit. There was a promo that they released after SmackDown with Shelton Benjamin talking about King of the Ring, and Chad Gable was standing next to him. He said, 'Hey Shelton, what's up?' Shelton looked at him and said, 'Shorty,' and walked away." We noted a couple of weeks ago that WWE has copyrighted the name Shorty G for a potential character. If Chad Gable is going to be Shorty G, if that's where they're going with it, I don't sense a bunch of upward mobility in his future with this character. Let's look at some Nia Jax news and why she deleted her Twitter account. Former Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax recently gave some of her fans a scare when she deleted her Twitter account and removed all references to the WWE on her Instagram account. Fans began wondering if Jax, who has been out of action after surgery to repair ACL tears to both knees, was leaving the WWE. She posted the following message on her Instagram account saying, "Privacy is power. What people don't know, they can't ruin." However, Pro Sports Extra's Brad Shepard tweeted that fans need not worry. As he mentioned, "A source in WWE told me Nia did this to focus more on transforming herself and preparing for her return, and to focus less on social media for the time being. I'm told this is nothing to be alarmed over, and her estimated return remains the first quarter of 2020. With Jax looking to recover from major surgery and get herself in ring shape, who can blame her for wanting some privacy? With the women's division featuring arguably its greatest talent roster, she likely wants to make sure her return is memorable." But there you have it guys, all your WWE wrestling news. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.